Hello, Assalamu alaikum students. So let's solve some relevant numerical problem from the topic of fluid dynamics. So problem number 1 is water is flowing through a pipe of 5 centimeter diameter under a pressure of 29.43 Newton per centimeter square, which is gauge pressure. Gauge pressure is a pressure which is above the atmospheric pressure and with a mean velocity of 2 meter per second. So find the total head of water at a cross section which is 5 meter above datum. So we need to determine this total head of water, which we know consists of pressure head, kinetic head and elevation head. So the pressure value is given and we can calculate the pressure head by this formula. Pressure head is P over gamma, gamma is rho g. Pressure was given in Newton per centimeter square. You have to convert it to Newton per meter square. And the density of water is 1000. So you'll get pressure head 30 meters. Kinetic head is v square over 2g and velocity was given 2 meter per second. So 2 into 2 divided by 2 into 9.81. So we get 0.204 meter and elevation head was given 5 meter. So replacing all these values over here, we'll get the total head 35.204 meters. So moving on to the next numerical. A pipe through which the water is flowing is having diameter 20 centimeter and 10 centimeter at the cross section 1 and 2 respectively. So the figure will be provided. The velocity of water at section 1 is given 4 meter per second. Find the velocity head and discharge at both sections. So we can write the Bernoulli's equation and we know the sum of three energy head will be equal at both sections. So we can use the continuity equation, which is A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. The diameter of both section is known. We can compute the area by using the formula pi by 4 d square as written over here. And after computing these areas, you can determine the velocity. This is velocity head at section 1 with the velocity given. You have to determine the velocity head and discharge at both sections. So velocity head at section 1 will be v1 square over 2g with the velocity value of 4. So 4 square divided by 2 into 9.81. Now let's calculate the velocity head at section 2, which will be v2 square over 2g, and we are using continuity equation over here. And we can rearrange it for v2 and we have computed here it is equal to 16 meter per second. So now after having the velocity, we can compute the velocity head, which came out to be 83.047 meters. So discharge, you can either calculate it for section 1, which will be A1 V1, which is equal to A2 V2. So both ways you'll get the same answer, and this was 0.1256 meter cube per second, which is converted to liters per second by multiplying by 1000. So you must remember these conversions. So the next numerical is, the water is flowing through a pipe having diameters 20 centimeter and 10 centimeter at section 1 and 2 respectively. The rate of flow through the pipe is 35 liters per second. So discharge is given 35 liters per second. The section 1 is 6 meter above the datum and section 2 is 4 meter above datum. So from a reference plane, section 1 is 6 meter above datum and section 2 is 4 meter above datum. If the pressure at section 1 is 39.24 Newton per centimeter square, find the intensity of pressure at section 2. So from the provided data, you can draw this figure. While solving the numerical, the first step should be to write the given data and determine the values in the correct system of units, and calculate any other value like area from the known diameters. For this problem, we have two sections, so we are going to divide the data respectively. For section 1, the diameter was given 20 centimeter. We can convert it to meters, which is 0.2 meter, and calculate the area A1 uh, from the diameter, which is pi by 4 d square, and the pressure was known P1. It is 39.24 Newton per centimeter square. We have to convert it to Newton per meter square, and this elevation Z1, which is 6 meter. For section 2, the diameter was 0.1 meter. We can have the area A2, and Z2 was known, it is 4 meter. The pressure P2 is to be determined. Additional information in the statement was this discharge, which is 35 liters per second. We can convert it to meter cube per second by dividing it by 1000. And using continuity equation, we know discharge is equal to A1 V1, which is equal to A2 V2. So we can determine the velocities V1 and V2 by these formulas. V1 will be Q over A1 and V2 will be Q over A2. So we have these velocities in meter per second. Now we can apply Bernoulli's equation at section 1 and 2. We know the sum of pressure head, velocity head and elevation head is equal at both sections. So replacing all the values, pressure P1 is known, the density of water is 1000, G is 9.81, V1 has been computed, and G is 9.81, and elevation Z1 is 6 meter, and the pressure P2 is to be determined, and the density will remain the same, it is 1000, and the velocity we have it over here 4.456, and the elevation Z2 was 4 meter. So after replacing all these values, we can solve them and rearrange the expression for P2, and we have its answer in Newton per meter square, and we can convert it to Newton per centimeter square. So problem number 4 is, a horizontal venturimeter with inlet and throat diameter 30 centimeter and 15 centimeter respectively is used to determine the flow of water. The reading of differential manometer connected to the inlet and throat is 20 centimeter of mercury. Determine the rate of flow. Take CD 0.98. So first of all, write the given data and determine areas. So the D1 is 30 centimeter, and we can have area in centimeter square, and similarly A2 is 176.7 centimeter square, and CD was given, it is 0.98, and the reading of differential manometer is 20 centimeter of mercury, and we know we can convert it to pressure head by using this formula, where SH is specific gravity of mercury, which is 13.6, and S0 is specific gravity of water, which is 1. So 13.6 divided by 1 minus 1, it is 12.6, and this X value is 20 centimeter. So we have H value as 252 centimeter of water. And we know the formula for discharge through venturimeter. So simply replace all the values over here. We are using area in centimeter square, and we are also substituting the value of H in centimeter, 252 centimeter. So this G value, this should also be in centimeter, 9.81 into 100 centimeter per second. Sorry. So you have to make a correction over here. This should be 9.81 into 100. So after that, you'll have your discharge value in centimeter square per second. This answer is correct. And divided by 1000 to convert it to liters per second. So problem number 5, a 30 centimeter into 15 centimeter venturimeter is inserted in a vertical pipe carrying water flowing in an upward direction. So this is a vertical venturimeter with inlet diameter 30 centimeter and throat diameter 15 centimeter. A differential manometer is connected to the inlet and throat at 20 centimeter of mercury. So differential manometer reading is 20 centimeter of mercury. You have to determine the flow rate. So if you notice, the previous data was same as over here, with the only difference that it is now a vertical venturimeter. So using again the same formulas, you know the H, the pressure head, this remains same. The formula remains same, and you can also observe the answer came out to be same, 252 centimeter of water, and the discharge formula is also same. So eventually you will get the same answer. So it doesn't create any difference if it is horizontal or vertical. So problem number 6 is, water flows in a wide open channel as shown. Two pitot tubes are connected to a differential manometer containing a liquid of specific gravity 0.82. So you can note over here the differential manometer has a lighter liquid of specific gravity 0.82, which is lighter than the flowing fluid, which is water having specific gravity 1. So find the velocities UA and UB. So we know that for open channel, the water surface is coincident with the hydraulic grade line. So water surface, basically it is representing the hydraulic grade line, and we know the pitot tube, the rise of liquid in pitot tube, this is total energy head, and if we draw a line passing through this pitot tube, it represents energy line, and the difference of energy line and hydraulic grade line is velocity head. So this 3 feet, basically it represents a velocity head, UA square over 2G. So this UA square over 2G, this is equal to 3 feet. You can take 2G to the right hand side, and you can take the square root to get this velocity UA in feet per second. As we are using FPS system of units, so you must remember that the G value here will be 32.2 feet per second square. And we have also used these differential manometer previously as well, and we know the difference of velocity head, this is equal to the difference of pressure and elevation head, which is H, which is equal to X into SH over S naught minus 1. But if we have a lighter manometric fluid, we have to do S1 minus SL over S naught. So as we have a manometric fluid over here, so we do 1 minus 0.82 divided by 1, so it is basically 1 minus 0.82. And the X value, which is level difference of mercury, this is 2 feet. So 24 inches divided by 12, just to convert inches to feet again. So you can simply do 2 into 1 minus 0.82, and this is equal to difference of their velocity head, UA square over 2g minus UB square over 2g. So UA has already been determined, so simply substitute the values over here and rearrange and solve for UB, which came out to be 30 feet per second. Sorry, 13 feet per second. So the next numerical is a pipeline with a pump leads to a nozzle as shown. So we have this figure where we have a water reservoir, and the water surface is at point A. To one side of the reservoir, we have this 6 inches diameter pipe connected to it. To the other end of the pipe, we have a pump at point B. This pump is going to develop a head of 80 feet. That is, it is going to impart energy to the system. To the other end of the pipe, we have this 4 inches diameter pipe, which changes its elevation. The water surface, it is at elevation 70, that is 70 feet, while the pump, it is at 50 feet. And this 4 inches diameter pipe, it has its outlet at point C with elevation 80 feet, and the jet which will issue from this pipe, it is a 3 inches diameter jet. So they have also tentatively, or you can say qualitatively, drawn this hydraulic grid line and energy line. It is given in the statement, assume that the head loss in 6 inches diameter pipe may be expressed as 5 times its velocity head. Let's say V6 is the velocity of the 6 inches diameter pipe. So head loss in 6 inches diameter pipe is 5 times its velocity head, 5 V6 square over 2g. While the head loss in 4 inches diameter pipe is given as 12 times its velocity head, where V4 is the velocity of 4 inches diameter pipe. So we have to find the pressure head at the suction side of the pump. This is a pump and this will be its suction side. So we have to find pressure head at this point and also sketch the energy line and hydraulic grid line. So first of all, we are going to use the continuity equation to develop relationship between V6 and V3, while V3 is the velocity of the jet, and V4 and V3. So as you know, A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So from simply rearranging that, and from the diameter you can calculate the area by pi by 4 d square. But because we have to take a ratio of the area, so pi by 4 will cancel out and we will only have their diameter values. So you can see that V6 will be equal to 3 over 6 square, because area is pi by 4 d square. So 3 over 6 square into V3, and V4 is 3 over 4 square into V3. So we are going to write the energy equation between the reservoir and the jet. So between the point A and at point C. And we can also take the reference as the water surface. So point A is 10 feet below point C. So writing the energy equation at point A, the sum of all energy head Z1 plus P1 over gamma plus V1 square over 2G. And there are two ways. Either we can add all the losses to the downstream section, or we can subtract the losses from the upstream section. So here they are subtracting it. So minus the head loss in 6 inches pipe, this one head loss, plus HP, the energy which is imparted by the pump. So it is going to be added to the system. So it is plus HP minus HL, the head loss in 4 inches pipe. So this is equal to all the energy head for the point C, which we are using subscript 3 for that. So Z3 plus P3 over gamma plus V3 square over 2G. Now, as we know, point A is on the water surface, and we are taking it as the reference as well. So elevation with respect to it is 0. Z1 will be 0, and the pressure head, it is atmospheric pressure, so it is 0. And as the particles, they are static on the water surface, so its velocity is also 0. So all the term in this bracket is 0. And the head loss in 6 inches pipe, it was given, it is 5 times its velocity head, so 5 V6 square over 2G. The energy imparted by the pump, it is 80 feet, it is given. And head loss in 4 inches pipe, this is given as 12 times its velocity head, so 12 V4 square over 2G. The elevation of point C from point A, it is 10. And the pressure again, this is jet, so it is open to atmosphere, so pressure head is atmospheric pressure, so this will be 0. And the velocity, it is given as V3 square over 2G. So now we are going to express this expression in terms of V3. So this was the reason that we first developed the relationship of V6 with V3 and V4 with V3 using continuity equation. So substitute all the values over here, be careful at this step, and rearrange and use the value of G in FPS system of units, and finally the V3 will be 29.7 feet per second. After that, you can also calculate the discharge, which will be A3 into V3 in feet cube per second. So we can calculate the head loss in the suction side, which is given 5 times the velocity head of 6 inches pipe. So it is 4.2 feet, and the head loss in discharge pipe, it is 52.1 feet. And so we have also calculated the velocity heads as well, V3 square over 2G, V4 square over 2G, and V6 square over 2G, which is 0.86 feet. So finally they had asked us to calculate the pressure head on the suction side of the pump, PB over gamma. So over here we have to calculate the pressure head. The difference of point B and point A, it is 20 feet, since point A is at 70 feet elevation and point B is at 50 feet elevation. So this total, you can say it is 20 feet. And if I subtract the head loss for 6 inches pipe, which is 4.2 feet, so I have reached the energy line. And now in order to calculate the pressure head, I will also have to subtract the velocity head for 6 inches pipe, because by that way I will be at the hydraulic grade line, and hydraulic grade line represents pressure head. So 20 minus 4.2 minus 0.86, we'll get 14.94 feet. So problem number 8 is, given two-dimensional flow as shown, determine the flow rate, that is discharge. Assume no head loss. The hydraulic grid line is represented by the water surface in the region, since it is an open channel and where the streamlines are parallel. The energy line is at a distance of v square over 2g from the water surface, because water surface is a hydraulic grid line and difference of energy line and hydraulic grid line is velocity head. So assume alpha, which is a velocity correction factor, it is 1. If there is no head loss, the energy line is horizontal. So write the energy equation between section 1 and 2. If you write the energy equation from this datum, which is sum of 3 energy head, that is elevation head, pressure head and kinetic head. So as we know, this water surface, it is representing the hydraulic grid line, which is a summation of elevation head and pressure head. Or you can say the pressure at this water surface is basically 0. So at this point we have the maximum elevation head, that is 2 meter. So 2 plus v1 square over 2g. This is equal to 0.8, where this is a water surface, 0.8 plus v2 square over 2g. So we have written the energy equation over here, and we can also use a relationship from the continuity equation, which will be the area of cross section. For the water depth, it is 2 meter, and we can take the perpendicular dimension and the width of the channel equal to 1. So area will be 2 into 1 into velocity v1. This is equal to 0.8 into 1 into velocity v2. So we have two equations and two unknowns. You can solve them and get the velocity v1 2.12 meter per second and v2 5.30 meter per second. After that, calculate the discharge by a1 v1 or a2 v2. Both ways you get the same answer, and you can also get the velocity head v1 square over 2g and v2 square over 2g in meters. So problem number 9 is, a vessel cylindrical in shape and closed at top and bottom, contains water up to a height of 80 centimeter. The diameter of the vessel is 20 centimeter and the length of the vessel is 120 centimeter. So this vessel with a complete height of 120 centimeter at normal static state, its water surface is at 80 centimeter while the diameter is 20 centimeter. So this vessel is rotated at a speed of 400 rpm about its vertical axis. Find the height of parabolite formed. So you have to find out this z dimension. So we can calculate the rotating speed omega from the rotation known, that is 400 rpm. So we know omega is given as 2 pi n over 60. We'll get it 41.88 radians per second. And we know for a closed vessel, the volume of air before rotation is equal to volume of air after rotation. So we can develop an additional equation using this relationship, where z is the height of parabola and r is the radius of parabola. So the complete volume of the vessel, which is pi by 4 d square into 120 minus the volume of water, which is pi by 4 d square into 80. This is equal to the volume of parabolite form. So pi r square into z by 2. So simply rearranging this expression, we'll get this relationship of r square into z, which is equal to 8000. So we also know this height z, it is given as omega square r square over 2g. So replacing the values of omega, which is 41.88 radians per second, and g in centimeter per second square, so 981, we'll get this relationship that z is 0.9 894 r square. So in terms of r square, we can write r square is z over 0.894. So substitute the value of this r square in this expression and simply solve it, and you can get the value of z, which is 84.56 centimeter. So the last numerical, in a free cylindrical vortex flow at a point in a fluid of radius 200 millimeter and height of 100 millimeter, the velocity and pressure are 10 meter per second and 117.72 kilonewton per meter square absolute. Find the pressure at a radius of 400 millimeter and at a height of 200 millimeter. The fluid is air having density equal to 1.24 kg per meter cube. So first of all, write down the known data for point 1 and point 2. For point 1, the radius is 0.2 meter, elevation is 0.1 meter, velocity is 10 meter per second, and pressure is 117.72 kilonewton per meter square. For point 2, the radius is 0.4 meter, elevation is 0.2 meter, and pressure and velocity are not known. And as given, density is 1.24 kg per meter cube. So we know for free vortex flow, V into R is constant. So using that, we can write V1 R1 is equal to V2 R2. So since V1 is known and radius are known, so we can get V2, which is V1 into R1 divided by R2, which is equal to 5 meter per second. And we know Bernoulli's equation that is applicable for free vortex flow. So sum of three elevation head at section 1 and 2 is equal. So P1 over gamma or rho g plus V1 square over 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 over rho g plus V2 square over 2g plus Z2. So P1 is 117.72 into 10 to the power 3 divided by the density 1.24 into g value 9.81 plus the velocity V1 is 10 meter per second, so 10 square over 2 into 9.81 plus Z1 is 0.1. This is equal to P2 pressure, which is to be calculated. So P2 over rho g, we can take it to the other side, and the velocity, or you can say we can take this these terms, velocity and elevation head, to this side, left hand side, and we'll get the P2 over rho g value, which came out to be 9676.22. So multiplied by rho g, taking density 1.24, the pressure is 117.705 kilonewton per meter square absolute. So that's it. Thank you so much.